Yeah, I wonder if the Earth is a pretty complicated planet in a giant solar system, and I wonder if by dividing everything into months and seasons, the spring, summer, autumn, winter, I wonder if maybe we tried too hard to fit everything into specific times. The scientists sometimes talk about the fact that the Earth can change dramatically. It can change very rapidly. Um, Lands can disappear into the sea, and new lands can come out of the sea. The magnetic poles can move and shift, and they can. Some scientists say that in history they reversed. Yeah, and if they do that again, which might or might not happen, nobody really knows. But if they do that again, the whole climate of the Earth is going to be completely transformed. And the biggest effect is going to be on food and agriculture, and those elements. Whether or not we can keep that stable is extremely important. And yeah, it's very bizarre. There was more snow in the last week here than there was at Christmas, and it snowed. I think every day, Monday to Friday last week, I think it snowed 4 times or 5 times during the day, which is, as far as I know, that has never happened before here. Could it be that winter is moving into spring? Summer is moving into autumn? It would be natural for it to happen because the dates and times are kind of arbitrary because they're selected by people. We'll have 365 days in a year, and we'll have 12 months, and the months will be lunar cycles, but they won't fit into the whole lunar cycle, so things will be up and down. So I think that we can expect more craziness as we're on a planet flying through space. This idea that we have the ability to control everything is a little bit mad. We can't even control ourselves. We can't even control ourselves properly. How are we going to control the environments that we live within? We always seem to want to do it. Well, we can do it a little bit for sure, but everything that man has built has been destroyed down throughout time. Empires have disappeared. Giant cities have disappeared. Beautiful spaces and places, the hanging gardens of Babylon, or the ancient wonders of the old world. These places don't exist anymore. Was Atlantis a real place or not? We don't even know, right? We don't even know. What happened to the Egyptians? Not sure. Yeah. We got stories, but we're not exactly sure. What happened to the South American civilizations? No idea. Did you know there are bigger pyramids in China than there are in, well, the pyramids in Egypt are small compared to the pyramids in Mexico, and the pyramids in Mexico are small compared to the pyramids in China. So there's all of these ancient civilizations that we don't know anything about. Everything got lost in time, and we've only since we could fly and created radar, and we can look down and go, oh my God, look, an ancient city over there, right? It's only in the last 100 years. It was only 100 years ago that people first traveled to the North Pole and the South Pole. I think it was. that's recent history. We still don't know a lot about the planet and all the elements. So trying to control everything is possible, but only for a limited period of time. Because everything we've built has fallen down at some point in time. Every building, every bridge, everything at some point in time has finished. And one of the problems of history is that we didn't plan that into our systems. We didn't plan the end. We didn't plan obsolescence or uselessness into the system. We built something and said, this is going to last forever. And it was a terrible mistake. Because as far as we know, nothing has lasted forever. We have to build in the construction and the destruction so that we can rebuild again. And it's the same process for companies as well. Companies have to realize when to deconstruct things in a proper way, not just close it and cancel it. A lot of companies will make mistakes and then just cancel departments, and that's like, it's a very extreme way of doing things, and it really means that things haven't been planned very well. So when there are problems in companies, bigger companies, over longer periods of time, it's because we haven't planned the end point. Like we see this with military examples. Yeah, like, we're going to send soldiers into Iraq to help these people create democracy. Oh, okay. Well, how long will that take? Don't know. Right? Feel like no idea. 20 minutes? Don't know. 5 years? Not sure. 20 years? Don't know. So they when you don't have that point, and you don't know when things can be deconstructed and rebuilt again, then it's a problem for organizations. It's a problem turns out to be a problem for created for the next generation. Like a lot of things that we've built, we just give to our kids, and then we're like, okay, here you go, deal with this. The kids are like, oh, thanks. Right? As they, like we had to deal with nuclear weapons. Yeah, our generation didn't build nuclear weapons or create them. I guess we built some more, but we didn't create them. But we had to live with thank you very much for this gift from the post-Second World War period of what do we do with these giant bombs now. Great, well done everybody. Thank you history, for that madness. So yeah, that's just another one of the problems. So what were we talking about? We were talking about when the company starts having this parents and children scenario, which is just ridiculous, because once you become an adult, you want responsibilities. This is part of becoming an adult. You want responsibilities. And then if you want to do a job, any job, and do a good job, whether you're a teacher or a bus driver or whatever you do, but bus drivers got to make decisions driving down the road, right? Yeah. Left, right, faster, slower. If the bus driver can't make the decisions, it's, if he has to call somebody every time he wants to do something, the bus is not going to get very far. And so a lot of people in companies now are trapped like bus drivers who have to ask other people before they do anything. And it's not that the problem is not so much that it becomes frustrating for you as it becomes frustrating for everybody that you want to help. Because you have to then say to them, I'm sorry, I can't do this over here because this person over here might or might not like it, and I don't have permission, and that's just a useless place to be, because the joy and beauty and life and energy in all things comes from making decisions. Am I going to have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee? Oh, I get to make a decision. Yay. And I make a decision and life moves forward.
Mm.
Will I wake up at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock? I make a decision, life moves forward. Will I watch this film or that film? I make a decision, life moves forward. Will I go inside or outside? I make a decision, life moves forward. Yeah. Whenever we can't make a decision, then we're back to hands tied. Which is my favorite. It's my favorite symbol for the last year for people I'm talking to in companies is like, I bet you feel like this. I bet you feel like this right now. But you feel like your hands are tied and you can't. Sometimes they're tied here, sometimes they're tied here, sometimes they're tied here. But you feel like that and you can't really do much because you're waiting for other people to make decisions. And that's no way to run a future-minded business because you've got to have the flexibility of a tennis player who's playing a game of tennis. Yeah, you've got to hit the ball left, hit the ball right. That the beauty comes from the preparation and the not knowing. You prepare to be perfect, and you might get slaughtered. Right? You just don't know how it's going to go out there. More often, the harder you train, the better you are. The more you win. That's the basis of it. But can't win everything all the time. So, but you have to be able to make the decisions. You have to make the decisions of where to train, how to train, who to have as a coach, which racket to use, which exercises to do more of, what to do less of, which tournaments to play, which tournaments not to play. All decision. And we employ people to make a decision. Maybe that's the question people should be asking. You employed me for my skills and for my knowledge so that I can make decisions. I have skills, I have knowledge, but I can't make decisions. What is the point? Right? And as you say, you end up feeling like a child. And nobody likes to feel that way in their job, in their role. I felt like that at times before when I worked in schools years ago, where I was like, I've got an idea, I want to do this, but I have to do this because this is the curriculum, because this is what's laid out, because this is what everyone else has decided what is best. And that's what eventually led to me starting my own school, because I was like, I think that there's other ways. I think there's other materials. I think there's other that there's not just one road to get to where we want to go. Of course, a lot of people didn't like that, but there you go. But it needs to be said. It needs to be asked. There's a famous, I think it's an Apple advertisement in the early years of when Steve Jobs was the chief of Apple. There was a video created by Apple to promote their products called "Here's to the Crazy Ones." It was Apple's first Think Different commercial. It was a 1-minute advertisement for television to promote Apple brands and Apple products. And what they did was align, marry, link, connect themselves with the greats of history. But not saying that we are them and they are us, but saying that everybody who has done something great has been somebody who's been a little bit crazy, has been somebody who thought differently, has been somebody who changed what everybody thought was the right way to do things. And this is true down throughout history. This is innovation and progress. And a lot of why Western society has slowed down over the last 20, 30 years in terms of production and innovation and invention. Go back 100, 150 years and look at which countries contained the most inventions. Britain and the United States, right? Britain and the United States were responsible for, I'm exaggerating, but almost everything. Almost everything. Everything from waterways and canals to airplanes was Britain or the United States. Now you can argue little bits and pieces here and there that there were other things in other places, but China today has more patents for new inventions than any other country. And this is part of the problem, that we don't sponsor creation in terms of invention in the West. We sponsor building things upon the products produced in the East. But we don't have a culture of invention anymore. Scotland was known as a center for the invention of everything for hundreds of years. And now we don't promote it and we don't support it really at all. Yes, we have business innovation, but that's different from something that's going to turn the world around or change everything or make people's lives better. And one of the reasons that Apple became Apple, there's many reasons why Apple was famous. It was already on a trajectory. It was already on a path to be very good at doing what it was doing with technology. But one of the reasons was that they broke a lot of the rules about how people thought organizations should run. And they did. Steve Jobs was he was a fanatical, hard-driven, crazy director of a kind of guy, but a genius at the same time. Complex character, but still a genius. And they realized, I think he realized as well, that that everything good came out of something crazy. Now, there were a lot of things that didn't work. There are many, many, many painters throughout history that have been very unsuccessful trying new things. But then you have your Picasso, who, with the right support and the right ideas and the right marketing, was able to achieve what basically no or very few other artists were able to achieve in their lifetime, which was success. And so we need a little bit of crazy to have a future. Because if we all just do what we're told, then we're all just algorithms, zeros and ones in the system of society. And I like society, but you and me, we're people with emotions and feelings. We're not zeros and ones. Some days we're happy, some days we're not. Yeah, it's the roller coaster of life. Ups and downs, we don't know. And we have to factor that into the business processes as well and realize that we're going to be emotional and that might mean that we have to do some crazy things from time to time in order to survive. And we will have to push back at some point against everything that's happening. The economies are still slowing down in the West. They're not kickstarting. They're not restarting. Government is borrowing more money to throw into keeping economies running. Very often paying people to do nothing. That's unsustainable. Completely unsustainable. You can't get any progress that way because everyone's hands are tied. Risk. People are risk averse now. They're scared to take risks because, oh my God, I might lose my job. And in the present economy, if you lose your job, you can't find another job. And whereas in the past, some people would take crazy risks in order to do stuff. Now people are like, well, I don't know, I'll just wait and see. And that waiting is devastating for people because they miss opportunities every day that they could have. And people don't even know we don't even know what we're missing. Like, because we don't go to the conference and we don't have that drink and we don't have that conversation at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? We don't know what we're missing. There could be some spark of creativity and who knows where it goes. And the fact that companies are happy with this is not good. It's not good at all. Because where are you going to go in the future? The people that survive are going to be those who adapt, those who improvise, those who innovate, those who challenge, those who change, those who push through. And in between, in every company's got this middle level, this bigger company's got this middle level of management, which is just like some kind of bad layer on a cake. You know, like cakes have different layers, and like maybe you got a nice part at the top and something else nice at the bottom, and you got some there in the middle, right? There's all this middle management of there in this cake, and what to do. The companies have trapped themselves. Where do we find other people? I don't know. It's a risk. We just keep things the way that they are and close our eyes and cross our fingers and keep driving, and maybe we'll get somewhere. Oh, good luck to everybody with that.